caught your wife in the midst of repeated infidelity, to stay with her is dumb as I believe Marcellus would agree with. Where is Annmarie? Dumb as
Just when it seemed the Marcellus Wiley story couldn't get any more complicated, another claim from his past is resurfacing. Amid his arrest, Annmarie Wiley's divorce filing, and Marcellus's public response, former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Garcelle Minkoff says she had an uncomfortable experience with Wiley years ago while filming the show. And according to Garcelle, she wasn't the only one. She says Garcelle Beauvais felt uncomfortable too. Let's break down what was said, how it connects to everything happening now, and what it could mean for the public perception of Marcellus Wiley. As many of you know, Marcellus Wiley was arrested over the 4th of July weekend. Shortly afterward, Annmarie Wiley filed for divorce, alleging abuse in court documents. Marcellus has since denied wrongdoing and publicly pushed back against those allegations, saying there's another side to the story. Now, another conversation has resurfaced, not from the current divorce, but from Marcellus's connection to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills through his wife, Annmarie. On a recent episode of her Humble Brag podcast, Garcelle Minkoff discussed an interaction involving Marcellus Wiley during the time Annmarie joined the cast. She discussed this with her co-host, Cynthia Bailey, from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Garcelle says she personally felt uncomfortable around Marcellus during filming. She also stated that fellow cast member Garcelle Beauvais expressed similar discomfort. Garcelle didn't accuse Wiley of committing a crime during the interaction. Rather, she described the atmosphere and behavior as making her feel uneasy. Those comments are now receiving renewed attention because they're being viewed alongside the allegations that surfaced in the divorce filing.
But something that doesn't seem rumory that I just feel like we must address, because I felt very 1 degree of separation, is what has happened. And trigger warning, because it's discussion about assault and domestic violence. Mm-hmm. But this is about, I know you're going to, you know what I'm talking about, is Annmarie Wiley and Marcellus Wiley. There's been a lot of SA, you guys know what that means? I don't want to say the word, like accusations, and on top of, you know, I mean, like, for me, it's a very hard thing to read, because on top, you know, just, it's hard to read for anyone to go through that. You know, obviously, she and I had very tumultuous experience together. But I will say at my last reunion, in which it was her first season and only season, I had made sure to request that he was not allowed to be there.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. I called production and I made sure. I was going to insist, but he apparently was not, you know, they had already asked him not to come to be, you know.
What was your reason for that?
Like, I've always felt very uncomfortable. He's gone online, and it has very much made, you know, accusations about me and Garcelle, lied about us. Garcelle and I were feeling very uncomfortable. You know, it was very, it got like we had a lot of people involved, like the production network. So they were very helpful with us, very protective, and they said, don't worry. But they made it a blanket, like no husbands allowed, no partners allowed.
Okay.
You know, to make it not focused. But I was like, I can't come if he's here.
Right, right. No, you definitely want to be in a safe space.
Correct.
For sure.
And because obviously we were heading into a reunion in which she and I were going to be combative. So, like, you know, all that to say is these are accusations on this side, but I can personally say that I have always been uncomfortable.
But that's not the only conversation happening around Marcellus Wiley right now. While Garcelle Minkoff says she and Garcelle Beauvais were uncomfortable around Marcellus during the filming of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, others who have known him for years are telling a very different story.
To stay with her is dumb as hell. If you caught your wife in the midst of repeated infidelity, to stay with her is dumb as hell. I believe Marcellus would agree with that. That's dumb as hell. It's move. Where is Annmarie? Dumb as hell. After getting kicked off of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she said, paraphrasing, I'm a proud black woman, married to an incredible black man, that is an incredible father. That was circa 2024. But in 2012, Annmarie says that Marcellus Wiley, and she also alleges that Marcellus Wiley tried to shoot at a couple of her homegirls, yet proceeded to marry him in 2014. With all that being said, Marcellus taught me this. When you do something stupid, you gotta pay the stupid tax. And Marcellus is currently paying the stupid tax. And I know Marcellus. I worked with him 2 hours a day, 240 days a year. Darnell was in the building every one of them days.
I worked with Ellie.
Like
before that.
And before that.
For years.
And before that. So like I know Marcellus well, and I know the man personally. Now, how you know somebody and how somebody else knows somebody are two very different things. But Marcellus is a very proud non-fighter. You know so.
Yes.
He brags about not fighting. he takes pride
all the time
in not fighting. Man, woman, child, adult alike.
Yes.
He takes pride in not fighting.
Will tell you that.
Yes. He's like, I'm a nerd.
I am not fighting.
I am not fighting. Like, y'all fight me if you want to.
He's not gonna fight a man, but
I'm not the fighter.
He's not gonna fight a man, but he gonna do.
These men act like men don't beat on women and children every day, all day, but pretend to be the nicest person to the public.
I done been out with Marcellus multiple times when he faded feeling good. That's not even his MO. Like, he don't get aggressive when he's dancing. He's the life of the party.
This other guy goes on to say that he saw Marcellus and Annmarie at the gym like a week or so prior to the July 4th arrest of Marcellus Wiley, and he acts as though they were fine. So they are totally downplaying that they've had this abusive, tumultuous, adulterous relationship, but they don't know. That was the crew from the Speakeasy podcast, and they didn't hold back. Interestingly, they described Marcellus as dumb or someone who sometimes makes questionable decisions, but they also defended his character. They said that after working with Marcellus for years, they've never known him to be someone who likes to fight or get into physical confrontations. In their view, that behavior simply doesn't match the person they've worked alongside. So now you have two very different perspectives emerging. On one side, Garcelle Minkoff is recalling an experience that says left both her and Garcelle Beauvais uncomfortable. On the other side, longtime colleagues are saying they've never seen Marcellus display violent behavior and that the allegations don't line up with the man they know. And that's where Marcellus' own response becomes important. He continues to deny the allegations against him and says the public is only hearing one side of the story. His position is that there are facts and context that haven't been shared publicly yet. Ultimately, the legal system, not social media or podcasts, will determine what evidence supports or refutes the allegations. But in the meantime, the public conversation is clearly being shaped by people sharing very different personal experiences with Marcellus Wiley. So what do you think? Does hearing from coworkers who say Marcellus isn't a violent person change your perspective? Or do you think personal character references shouldn't carry much weight when serious allegations are being investigated? Let me know in the comments, and as always, we'll continue following this story as new information comes out. Like, hype, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button so you don't miss any of my videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.